Okay. So we're dealing with data analytics with Power BI tonight. So to start with, as you're saying, okay, what does data analytics entail itself? Data analytics is a process of analyzing raw data in order to draw out meaningful, actionable insights. So it's not really about, okay, I'm using Power BI. The first thing should be about what's the problem you want to solve. That's when you know, okay, this is the approach I want to use and this is how I want to go about with it. But one of the advantages of using Power BI is that Power BI is easy to use. Of course, there are codes in Power BI like that, data analytics expressions, but it's not really the fundamental. It's a GUI, graphic user interface software, such that you can use it without even knowing too much about the codes involved. That's one. Then another one is that it has multiple source connectors. Like you can connect data from Microsoft Excel, command interpretable values, that's CSV files. You can from SQL, from Oracle, from different sources. Power BI is so versatile that it accepts all the sources. Then another one is that it's cheap. Unlike some other software that you have to pay for, you can start with Power BI without having. Just what you need is you need your system, then you need to download the software. To start with, I hope we've all downloaded the Power BI software.
Yes.
Okay. That's interesting. Then another one is that it has interactive visual dashboards. You can use it to make a dashboard that will be interactive so that it will respond to you according to what you want. Then it's easily accessible from anywhere you are. There's Microsoft Power BI on mobile. So there are times when you need it for your mobile, like especially those people involved in, maybe they're using it for transactions at their marketplaces and stuff like that. So that's that. Then another one is that as a Power BI expert, opportunities for you include you can be a data analyst, you can be a software, a business intelligence analyst, a senior data analyst, and also a business intelligence developer. And all these come with a huge incentive, like huge salary pay. So now over to the business of the day. I hope we've all downloaded the data set. A link was sent to us to download the data set we'll be using for tonight. Oh, Miss Divine said no. Okay, let's drop the link here. The link has been sent to the chat here. Is just click on like download the data set. So back to what I was saying. So it's imperative that you clean your data sets, except for data sets that you get from some platforms that are already clean. Most real life data, when they are coming, they are either filled with missing values, with errors, and as a data analyst, most time you spend during the course of your work is on data cleaning and transformation. So it's a very interesting skill that you should hone as a data analyst. You can't do without it. Real life data are so messy and you just have to deal with it. So BI Dimensions is a workbook. It's an Excel file with 3 Excel sheets. We have the manufacturer, the products table, the manufacturer table, and the geo table. So that's that for that. Then the other ones, okay, we have the sales. Sales is a class, it's usually called. Okay, then to the last folder we'll be treating. Okay, that's international sales. International sales data has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6 different files. So let me open it so we can also see it. So in case you're wondering why are these data sets in like separate like this, usually there are sometimes that, especially when you're dealing with a big company, there'll be, most times it happens that we have different sources, different platforms on which they collect their customers or employees data. So it could be, okay, they are using Microsoft Excel to collect one data set, then they are using SQL to create SQL Server to collect another one. So, and as a data analyst, you should know how to gather everything together and analysis so you can make beautiful insights from the data. So that's an example of what's okay. So I'll be getting my data sets. So you see, from this list, you have get data. As I explained earlier when I was discussing the advantages of using Power BI as a software, Power BI has different data sources. This is Excel workbook. So in case the data you want to analyze is an Excel workbook, you click on it. Then we have text or CSV, we have XML files, JSON, folder, we have PDF files too, we have packets, SharePoints, then we have loads of it. It has like over 70 data sources from which you can connect, over 70. That's beautiful. So, but for our course tonight, we have just two data. We have an Excel workbook, then CSV. Then though we have a folder, but the folder contains also CSV files. So let me start with the folder data. So for this case, it's asking for the part of the folder. So in case you know the part offhand, you can input it. If not, it's best for you to just browse it, go to the location of the data and click on it. So this is the location, and the folder I'm interested in is international sales. So I'll click on it. Then afterwards, I click OK. So as I said earlier, I have Australia, CSVs, Canada. Okay, so I'll load them. So I'll combine, then transform data. Remember what I said earlier, that tonight we're going to be getting our data from the sources, cleaning and transforming the data. So I'll click on combine and transform data. Sorry about that. So that's while that is loading, let me get the other. Okay, so okay. So it's loaded on the Power Query editor. So I'll go to the next file that I'm interested in loading, and that is the sales from the US sales folder. On my data, I have US sales, I have international sales. So go to US sales folder. This is the only CSV file present in this US sales folder. So, and that's what I'm interested in. So I'll click on it, and it also loads. Okay. Yes. Then the next one is the Excel workbook. So I'll as well go to the so the US sales, the only workbook, the Excel file in US sales is by dimensions, and that's what I'm interested in. So I'll click on it too, and it's also loads. Interesting. Now I can check the job, manufacturer, and products tables. Then I click on OK. And I want to also get muted. So one beautiful thing about Power Query Editor is it's used for extracting data, for transforming data, and also loading data. And also you can also use it for some automation modes too. So now our data is, we have all the data sets we want to use: the international sales, the sales, the geo, the manufacturer, and the products. So the first thing I would like us to do is, let's rename this geo file name to geography. Geo could be, it could be someone's name, it could be geology, it could be anything, but what we're interested in and what it is here is geography. So let's name it to geography to avoid some confusion. So manufacturer. So I'll rename this one to manufacturer by making the first data in capital, then this one to product. So this is sales. So I'm good to go. So let me start from the international sales data. So for this sales data, we have the source name. We have, this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different columns. So this column here is redundant, so we have to remove it. So to remove this column, just right click on this yellow this thing that has the source name and the data type here. Then you click on this X, that's remove, then you remove it. That's done. Are we following me? So then the next thing is you have to check for the data type of each column if truly they conform with what the data, the columns values are. So for product ID, usually for the product ID, let's check for the types of values that are included. So we have all of them are numbers, so it's okay. You are good to go. You can leave it as number. How do I know this is in number form? Can you see these 1, 2, 3 symbol here? We have number, we have decimal number, fixed decimal number, whole number. So this one is whole number, so and it's okay that way. So I'll leave it. Then come down here to the dates column. Here in the dates column, I'll click on it too. Can you see the dates column and as well it's date, so it's correct. I'll leave it that way. Then coming down here to zip. Usually there are times that zip codes are going to be in numbers just as we have here. Then there are times too that we have zip codes in alphanumeric, that we have, say, like A201 or things like that. So to avoid such thing, that's what we're saying earlier, that you have to understand your data. So I understand that this is a zip column. So I'll have to change this data type to text. The text data type will allow for alphabet, alphanumeric, and also numbers too as a text. So it's best left in text data type. Then we come down here to the units too. Of course, it's in whole number, so I'm good to go. But before I go, let me check for the types of values here to confirm if truly all the values are numbers. Okay, so can you see? Everything is in number, so that's okay. We're good to go. So we leave that way. Then we come to revenue too. For the revenue, it's in decimal number. So we could have, let's say it's in naira. Naira, we can have kobo. So that's okay. So it's okay. It's best left in decimal numbers. So that's that. Then the next column is the country column. First, country is a text column. So, and it's in text, so I better leave it that way. So that's that. So, okay, we're good to go. But before we leave, the first international sales data I was checking here, it's okay, it's best for us to come and check for if each of these columns do not have missing values. So to check for that, I'll click on column quality and column distribution. So for the column quality here, for the product ID, it says valid 100%. That means, you see, valid 100%, 0% error, then 0% empty. So that means there's no missing value in the product ID column. So I'll come down here to To the date column, same thing, 100% 00, that's 0% empty. So for the zip code to zip column 2, it's the same thing. For the units column 2, it's the same. For the revenue, the same. And then for the country column 2, the same. So I'm good to go. Then I can proceed to the next table. That's a sales table. So having checked this in the previous table, it's left checked too. So let's start here by checking if we have any missing value. So in the sales data, in the sales table, for the product ID 2, no missing value, no missing value, no missing value, no missing value, no missing value. So I'm good to go. So I cannot check these two to make it more presentable. So let me check the data type if the data types are truly conform with the values present in the columns. So for this one, product ID, I have it as number, the whole number, so that's okay. For the dates, I have it as dates, that's okay. But for the zip, just like we edited for the international sales table earlier, we're going to be editing for this zip column too. So we change the data type from whole number to what? To text. So changing it to text. Then the units table too, we have whole number, good to go. Then the revenue, we have it as decimal number, and that's okay, we're good to go. So then coming down to the geography table here. For the geography table here, can you see the first 2 rows have, they contain errors and also missing value. So we're going to be removing the first 2 rows. So we come down here. So remove rows. From these reduced rows, can we see it? So click on it. Then come to remove top rows. Let's say it was the last rows I wanted to remove. I'll come to remove bottom rows. But no, I'm interested in these first 2 columns. So I will select remove top rows. So it says specify how many rows to remove from the top. So I'm interested in removing just these first 2 rows. So I'll just enter 2. That's it. Then click on OK. Can we see? Those ones are removed. Then looking at the column name of this table, we have source, we have public database, column 3, column 4. Can we say that they're not correct and they're not okay? So I would like, because indeed this row 1 having zip, city, state, region, district, and country, they are the ones that are the column headers themselves. So I'll come down here, then use first row as headers. Can we see? Then that's interesting. So I'll come down here, then change this my zip column to text data type. My city is in text already, and that's okay, right? State is in text, that's okay. Region is in text, that's okay. ABC is in text, that's okay. Remember alphanumeric that I was saying earlier, that text accommodates alphanumeric values. Then country is in text, and that's okay too. So that's that for that. Then I'll come down to my manufacturer table here. So for the manufacturer table, I have, okay, 1, 2, 3. So I'll be removing these last 3 columns, rows first. Remove rows, remove bottom rows. Remember, earlier we were interested in the top rows, but now we're interested in the last 3 rows, then remove them. Okay. And after removing them, I'll come down to transpose to transform, then transpose it. So can we see? So I have manufacturer ID, manufacturer logo, but remember this row 1 should actually be the column header. So I use first row, come down to here, and then use first row as headers. Good to go. So then to my last table here, which is the product table, I have Okay, product details, column 2, column 3, column 4, column 5, error. So indeed, this row 1, 2 is supposed to be the headers of the column. So I'll come down here, use first row as headers. So let me check for the data type in each of these things. So for here, I have it as number, it's okay, I'm good to go. Then here, products, we have alphanumeric values in the products column. So it's best left as a text data type. Then for category 2, we have mix. Even though I have missing values, I'm coming back to that. But the first one, which is mix, which is actually a value in the column, says it should be a text data type. So I leave it that way. Then I come down to manufacturer ID. Manufacturer ID is in whole number format, so I leave it that way too. Then to the price. For this price, should I leave price in text? Okay, I have alphanumeric, but no, remember I said you have to understand your data. As price, usually you're going to compute, make computations on price, like the sum, addition, and things like that. Then at times I may be interested in percentage of the price. So for that, I'll be splitting this column to actually have it as 2 columns. To have the USD, remember the USD is the currency in which the price is. Then we have the price, the value itself. So clicking on this column, then I'll come down to split column here. So I'll be splitting my column. We have different options. You can use by number of characters. I didn't mean you're interested in, okay, USD, okay, I want to have the first, okay, just like this one now. I want to use by number, by delimiter. I could say, okay, I want to split this column by delimiter or by number of characters, by positions, by lowercase, uppercase, differences. Or better still, I could say, okay, I'm not even using that. I want to use this style. Column from examples, from all columns. Can we see this column from examples there? Under this add column is that there. So if I should type anything here, let's say I'm typing mix, it will assume I want to have the first, no, don't let me use mix. Let's say I'm typing Abbas here. If I should type Abbas and click enter, it will just autofill all the column, all the rows with Abbas. It's not autofilling it with Abbas MA01 all season. No, it will only autofill it with Abbas, like so, just following that line down. But we are not interested in the products column. Remember, we're interested in the price column. So for that, we're going to be, okay, remember I said I want to split it into 2. I want to have the USD separate, then the actual price value separate. So I'll just click on USD here. USD. Then enter. Can you see? It's done. It has autofilled everything down to the last row. So just click on OK. Can we see? Then I'll still go back to it. I'm interested in having 2 columns, the USD, then the 412, the price value column. So come down here again. Then the first one here is 412.13. So I'll type 412.13 and click enter, and then select enter. Let me see. Okay. So I've successfully splitted this price column into 2 different columns, one having the currency and the other one having the price values themselves. So you see the column name here is text before the delimiter. That's all right. So I'll click on here, then come down here to rename. I'll be renaming this column to what? To currency, which it actually is. Okay, then click on enter. Then also I'll be naming this one to price. Click on enter. Okay, so it says a column named price already exists. So you know what? I'll first delete this column. Since it's going to be redundant, I will not need it again. So I'll remove this column, remove. Then I can change this one, rename it to price. So can you see I'm good to go here? I hope everyone is following what I'm doing here. So remember, I have to change the data type to the one that is okay for the column. So for this column price here, included in that folder, were selected automatically that way.
Okay.
So for this price column, I'll be changing the price, the data type to fixed to decimal, no, to fixed decimal number. Okay. Then the currency is in text. Okay. Then the manufacturer ID. Okay. Then this is, so for this category column, let me, to make it more visible, let me check these two boxes. Can you see for this product ID, no missing value here. But here I have 97% missing value, which means almost all the values are missing. So how do I go about that? So there's several ways of imputing the missing values. Actually, it's important as a data analyst for you to understand and study your missing value. There are times that some missing value could also be an information on itself, but at times it could be as a result of an error, maybe error of omission or so, depending on the way and the platform through which you collected your data. It could also be true when you were entering your data down, especially if it's manual style you used. So it's important for you to study your missing value to understand if there is an error or it's actually an information itself which will guide your analysis. So for this one, we'll be filling in the missing value. So in case you want to fill in this missing value with something, you just come to replace values, select replace values and select the values you want to replace the missing values with. So you enter it in here. But for this one, no, we're going to be filling it with downward selection. So what this down is saying is that, okay, can we see these apply steps? I'm hovering my cursor over now. I have filled down now. So all these things are steps. So if you want to go back to a previous step, you just come down, you overwrite, then click on X. So for this one, I've imputed these missing values with mix like this column now. So let me click on X. You see, it will take me back to the step before. So that's that. So I want to check something. Let me uncheck this one. Okay, so here now, what's the down? I was filling it. If I click on down, it will impute the values. Impute by me, it will fill in all these other missing value rows with this one here mixed. So it will go that way. So let me shift my this thing. So then here we can see rural, right? So it's also fill in these ones with rural. Then here rural. So that's what it will do. Then urban. These three rows are going to be urban. This one will be urban. So that's one of the styles of filling. Then if you're interested in also filling it up, like it will be the other way around. So let me click it down as I did earlier. So I have my column filled with data. So if I should check the column distribution now, you see there is no more missing value. Can we see? Then we're good to go. So let me uncheck it back. So now to this products column here, I'm interested in splitting this column into two. So remember, I told us we have several ways by which we can split our columns. Either you go to use this example column from example style, or you use the split column style. So let me use this style to split it. So I've selected split column by delimiter. The delimiter I'm using splitting this one is this thing here. So I just type this thing. So then click OK. So can you see that's what actually separated these two values here. This about MA01, then all season. So I have this one here, then this one here. So then I'll just rename this one to products. Click on rename. Okay. Then name this one to true category. Oh no, segment, sorry. So segments. So I have my product, I have my segment category, manufacturer ID, currency, then price. So I'm finding good to go. It's okay. So that's that. I hope we're all following me. So then the next thing I'll be doing here is that, can you see the sales data? The sales table has how many columns? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 columns. And the international sales table too has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So no, it has 1, 2, 3, 6. So I'll be combining these two columns together since they have almost all the columns with the same name. So I'll go to append queries. So append queries is here. You can see merge queries, then you append queries. When you're appending queries, then what you're doing is that you're adding two data sets through their rows. But when you're merging, then you're adding 2 of them through their column. And in that case, okay, that's merge is for column, then append is for row. So click on append queries. So yes, 2 tables. So table to append is, let me select the sales, then append it from the sales table. So that means which other table am I interested in adding to the sales table? That's international sales. So I'll click on that. So can you see concatenate rows from 2 tables into a single table? So that's that. Okay. So I have the data sets here. So the sales table now has both the international sales rows and the sales rows combined together as one table. So can you see from this column here, the country column, if you check of course you're seeing the number, then even if I want to see it better, let me check the column quality and column distribution. You see that I have empty. Everything here is empty. So what do I do to that? Remember, it's only loading the first 1,000 rows earlier. So when I click on load more, it's going to give me all the values, the distinct values in each of the rows. So now we have this, we have Australia, Canada, Germany, Japan, and the likes. Okay, so let me go back to, okay. So for this one, I'll be creating, okay. So for this, I'll come down here, then click on replace values. So value to find, that's null, right? So I'll replace it with what? You replace it to USA. Because actually this reason for the missing values is because, the sales table was just for the US sales, then international sales had other countries. So that's why the other countries were mentioned. But it's US, of course, it's US, so it wasn't mentioned. But now that we've now added both tables together, there is now a missing gap, which is what we want to fill in now. So for the USA table, which have the null values, we're going to impute it with what? With USA. So then click on OK. Can we see? We're good to go here. So I have my country. If I check the distance, can you see? Everything is 100%, 100%, 100%, 100%. So good to go. So let me come down back here then and check the column quality and column distribution. So with this, okay, everything is fine, everything is set. Then I'm happy. I want to go with my modeling and analysis. So I would like to do, I'll come down here to close and apply. Close and apply. Remember, we've been doing all these data cleaning and transformation in the Power Query editor. So I have my geography. There's geography, international sales, manufacturer, product and sales. So after these things, I have report, data, and model. So I'll come down to data here. So data has, which show me the tables as they are. So the data is, this is the data, the table is fixed. Okay, so these are the, this is the data sets. Okay, this is the manufacturer data sets, and this is the product data sets, and this is the sales data sets. Okay, so this is this. So from here, okay, so you can, in case you want to check for the first two, we can go over to that. For the values in each of the columns. So values and country. So that's that. So since I'm no more interested in the international sales, remember earlier we have appended the international sales table to the sales table. What I said, what I mean is you've added the whole of the international sales table to the sales table, so it's no more needed. So it's going to be done at, I'll just click on this. Can you see this one that looks like I? So when I click on it, it will not show again here. So I'll not have it here again. Or I can even delete it from the model since I'm not using it. Okay. So in that case, I can just leave it there. I'll just click on that. So everything is taken care of. Geography, manufacturer, products, then sales. So that's all for tonight. So tomorrow we continue with data modeling, creating relationships between these different tables. These different tables, we'll be creating relationships between them tomorrow.
Section, my 2 hours wasn't a waste. I've learned so much just in this lesson. I love the two facilitators, both of them are on point. The first person, the lady, she's not running. That's her pace, and I think I enjoy both classes. I look forward to join tomorrow also. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I think that's the best thing we could really get from you. We love this positive feedback. We have different nature of teaching, so we will combine everything to make things really productive and really worthwhile while you're joining us. So thank you so much. We really appreciate that feedback. Thank you.